Oh. So thank you very much to Austin Newstead there. Wow. I'm 7. I got a website being built. I like that. And well done to Catherine Price there doing the grid interviews. We're going to go back down. I mean, and that was such a like a motherly thing to do. So we're going to go back down to Auntie Cat on the grid, where she's going to speak to another wet driver very shortly. But that's great. And Anthony, I'm so impressed with how eloquent and well spoken, professional the drivers are at the end of a race like that.
End of the race like that, an age like that, and he talks better than me and you.
Well, yeah, I mean that's not surprising.
A lot better than you.
A lot better than me. But I'm now not the only Welsh. I'm Catherine. She's Welsh as well.
True.
Yes. So we're multiplying.
Well,
like rabbits in mating season.
Dear me. But anyway,
we
were going to go down to the grid, but I think because it's raining, cats and dogs.
I think possibly cat. Hey! Oh, he's done it, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Now, our spies in the paddock have told me, so the finals were going to be 15 minutes because you've had a delay and because we've got a curfew here at Clay Pigeon.
We do, yes.
They're now 12 minutes plus 1 lap for the finals.
I see. So
yes, there we
a
are.
little bit less time now, getting a wet.
Speaking of the next final, here it is.
They are indeed here. And they are making their way swiftly out. So here's a look at the grid. Crowther and Charman are on the front row as well. Cooper, Douglas as well, with Ticehurst and Green on the 4th row. Haywood and Barris Hadgett there on row number 5. Full and Earl on row number 6. Wooden, Crossley on row 7. Row 8, Ray and Worlock as well. Then it's Walker and Wise, Behrman and Smith on rows 9 and 10. Row 11 is Ghosh and Camp as well alongside. And Fernandez rounding out the grid.
Now, Minimax opening round 2021, Wera Tools, British Kart Championship, Clay Pigeon, rain, wind, kart off track. It looks like a Vision Motorsport kart. 22 Minimax drivers. Now we're down to 21 Minimax drivers. Ewan Charman, Harrison Crowther, Scott Marsh, Ethan Jeff Hall, Mackenzie Douglas, Leighton Cooper, Charles Green. It's a false start.
Yeah, I suspect it's because of the stricken car on the exit of the S's.
Now, the question is, I think that might be Callum Ghosh in kart number 88 being pulled off the side of the circuit. Yes, it is. So, unfortunately, the Anglo-Thai driver is out of the race before it even begins. Now, Charlie Green getting a lot of support here on the Charles Green, XL Motorsport getting a lot of support on the live chat. So is Mackenzie Douglas, the driver who wants to be known as he's from Pontyclean, not Cowbridge. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
hey.
Hey ho.
Hey ho. And oh, hello. That looks like somebody who, I didn't know who that was. But it was somebody, and they were happy. Someone's smiling here at Clay Pigeon. Here we go. Lights are out. We're off and racing.
Oh no! Spin straight away.
Crash. That is a huge crash, and they're all going to come back on. Don't spin it, boys. Don't spin it. Keep it straight as you come back on. Well, that was the number 7 kart of Harrison Crowther hooking his left wheel on the curb as he came round. It spat the kart sideways. All the drivers on the outside row of the grid had to take to the grass. They all managed to get back on the track, and there is Crowther at the back of the field. Well, Harrison, he's going to be really upset. I mean, but that could have been absolutely huge.
Off camera as well, Blake Ticehurst, the 36, got ahead of her coming together at the S's. He's gone back all the way down to the bottom of the field when they next cross the line. As one driver going wide on the grass at the exit of Buttons, gets it back on track, no spinners, and we cross the line. So, at the look at the end of that dramatic first lap, Leighton Cooper is leading the way from Reg Haywood. Then it's Ethan Jeff Hall, Mackenzie Douglas up into 4th place, Scott Marsh, Ewan Charman, Adam Wooden, William Ray, Aaron Full, and Damien Barris Hadgett there in the top 10.
Now, I said Leighton Cooper, great start. Reg Haywood from 9th, and of course he was on the side of the grid that weren't forced to take evasive action. down there, and I'm just looking. I mean, out of the corner of my eye, there's a gentleman in a very brightly coloured umbrella. Now, an umbrella is one thing that I wouldn't want to be putting up in this weather. So if we have to stop the race for an umbrella on track, we know to blame Coles Racing.
Yep.
Only joking. Here we go. Leighton Cooper. The question now is, how long can he hold on?
That is a very good question, because, of course, a little bit less time now in these finals, of course. No longer 15 minutes. They are 12 minutes due to delays a little bit earlier on. As you can see, snapping there as they press the brake, under braking through the Hans hairpin. You can see the 75 of Leighton Cooper under major pressure from Reg Hayward there. The front two absolutely nose to tail, but the fastest lap of the race has gone to Coles Racing's Mackenzie Douglas in 4th. He's just out the back of this shot.
So, the drivers that spun and had to take evasive action on the opening lap. Charles Green down to 16th. Ben Crossley down to 17th. Harrison Crowther, luckiest man in the race, even though he's probably quite upset right now, 18th. Ollie Wise, 19th. Blake Ticehurst, 20th. Oliver Smith, 21st. Josh Camp, 22nd. But all 22 drivers that took the start are still running. There's the fastest lap for Mackenzie Douglas, 43.49 seconds.
Indeed, indeed. So less than 10 minutes on the time. We're looking at the 37 and the 12 absolutely side by side. This is, of course, Reg Hayward, Ethan Jeff Hall battling for second place at the front of that pack. A little look further back as well. Scott Marsh, Adam Wooden, Ewan Charman and William Ray. They're very close together as well as they go through buttons. Again, running very wide, not going onto that grass because, again, you don't want to go on the grass there because that tyre will grab you and you'll be sucked into it.
Absolutely. And there's a move, and of course, 37, Reg Hayward briefly takes the lead. Crossover undercut move there through Billy's blind. Leighton Cooper retakes the lead. Now, obviously it's much harder to make a passing manoeuvre in the rain, but also for the drivers trying to catch these lead group, you're trying to push the envelope, and there's no room for error, and they're wheel to wheel for the race lead out of the horseshoe. And Leighton Cooper getting his elbows out as Reg Hayward was having a good old nibble at his the side of his cart coming through there, but on the outside, Cooper, cart dancing around underneath him, and managed to hold on. 3rd place, Ethan Jeff Hall looking very strong. Cooper runs wide, and that's dropped in. Mackenzie Douglas trying to get at the inside of him as well. Well, Ethan Jeff Hall, warning flag goes out for Reg Hayward. And let's have a little look at that action through the horseshoe on the last lap.
I thunk off the corner of my eye there was a wee bit of contact.
A
little love tap.
Here we go.
Let's see the replay. Let's see if that is correct. Going down. Yeah, look, you can see the head jerk as well. So just the little tap there in towards the braking zone of turn 1, and that is what secured that position. Yes,
and Hayward has been admonished for it. There is the midfield pack now. Ethan Jeff Hall has taken the lead. I say this race was sort of coming to Ethan Jeff Hall. The drivers are battling, and he was just sitting and waiting for waiting to pounce. Mm-hmm. The time to strike is now, and Ethan Jeff Hall takes the race lead. The question is, has he got the power now? The Strawberry Racing team. We mentioned this before. The last time that Strawberry Racing really had a good crack at the Minimax title was in 2010. And they won it with George Russell driving. So Ethan Jeff Hall is, even though they've taken a bit of time away from the class, and of course engines have evolved and chassis have evolved since then, Ethan Jeff Hall trying to fill very famous shoes indeed as he starts to begin to pull away from Reg Hayward and Leighton Cooper. Mackenzie Douglas in 4th place has really got to get his head down. And of course, a lot of the drivers are using different lines in the wet, so the rubber gets laid down in the dry, but then when that rubber gets rained on, it becomes very, very slippery. You want to try and find the parts of the circuit with less rubber on them, because in the wet, that has more grip.
My definition of it is washing up gloves.
Yes.
Dry washing up gloves, rubber on rubber, very grippy.
Yes.
You make them both wet, very slippy.
Okay, good. I've never done the washing up.
No, that makes sense.
Okay, let's go. Right, 6 minutes to go. Ethan Jeff, and again, we're not without making any disrespect to Reg Hayward. Reg Hayward, he's been a top 10 contender. He's had top 10 speed, but he's not been on the same sort of speed as Ethan Jeff Hall in a normal race situation. So he hasn't quite got the pace of Ethan Jeff Hall. Mind you, they haven't been out in these conditions so far either. And a 5-second penalty now applied to Reg Hayward. So that, as I said, this race was really coming to Ethan Jeff Hall, more so than ever now. What Reg Hayward has got to do, and there will be a board on the start-finish line that tells Reg that, so we'll know he's got a penalty. He has got to try and gain as much ground over his pursuers as possible. I mean, obviously, Leighton Cooper is right there. Mackenzie Douglas in 4th place is right there. Scott Marsh is 5th. Adam Wooden runs 6th for KR Sport. Ewan Charman, who started on the front row of the grid in pole position, he is down in 7th position. 8th is Levi Earl. 9th is Chase Fernandez, then Aaron Fall, William Ray, Harrison Crowther's back up to 12th. Then it's Damien Barris Haggett, Mikey Walker, Thomas Behrman, Blake Ticehurst, Freddie Worlock, and there's a move, Anthony.
Yeah, it was Aaron Fall down the inside of Chase Fernandez. Obviously, Chase, who had a disaster earlier on with heavy contact. He lost his front nose and had to bring it into the pit lane with the meatball flag, as it was. No one likes that flag, but I like meatballs. Aaron Fall, though, great move down the inside at Hans Hampin.
Yes, and of course, Marcus Littlewoods, who runs the Spirit of Senna karting team,
and it's
has
happened
corrected
again.
me. Oh, yes. Number 47, that's Scott Marshoff. Strawberry did come back and win the British Minimax title in 2016 with Jensen Butterfield, who is now a mechanic at Coles Racing, so I do apologise. But they still won it in 2010 with George Russell, so what I said was part right. Now, if you recall, the Minimax drivers, they went out on wet tyres in their pre-final.
Yes, of
on
course.
a drying track. And Ewan Charman drove away from everybody, won by a country mile. Now he's struggling a little bit. Did he perhaps take too much wear out of his wet tyres when the track was drying? He's just picked up a place coming out of Top Bend. He's passed the number 49 kart of Adam Wooden, so Ewan Charman back into top 5, but he's 6th second. There he is, ahead of the pink and purple cosmic chassis of Adam Wooden.
I don't know if he's struggling overall with pace, because, I mean, his times, he's doing a 43.2, and compared to the rest, they're doing...
Well, he's struggling with track position, and he's struggling with visibility.
Well,
because when you're following, even in a kart, you're so low to the ground, when you're following drivers, all you can see is a plume of spray. Yeah,
the rooster tails off the back of the kart, it does kick up a lot of water, especially with these wet tyres, because they are quite significant wet tyres. They've got a lot of grooves in them, so they do disperse a lot of water, and especially at the speeds they do, and with the wind that you've got, you just see it's blowing it all into the faces of the people at the side of the track.
But this is a good scrap for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. Charman, Wooden, Earl, Fall, Fernandez, Ray, Crowther in 11th, all in this battle. There goes the number 6 of Aaron Fall for KR Sport. Oh, and he just runs the number 49 car wide, and Adam Woodham, that's his teammate.
Oh, spin in front, it's the 42. Charman goes off. Those tyres have just not got the traction they need, because that just rotated on him.
And that's a very strange place to have an accident. The car literally, I'm almost thinking, did something, as it was a wheel coming loose, or did something break. He's actually back in the race now. He gets going again, but that car literally at the apex just snapped completely sideways.
It did, yeah. So something not quite right then with that car in these wet conditions.
So Reg Hayward there now getting caught, and Wooden gets a 5-second penalty as well. Now, that could also be start line infringements.
Yep. Essentially could be right, but with less than 2 minutes plus 1 lap to go, the order is still Ethan Jeff Hall leading the way by just under 2 seconds. Now he crosses the line. We'll update the gap. It is now over 2 seconds, but the battle between second place Reg Hayward and Leighton Cooper is still very close. And on your screen there is that battle. Leighton Cooper, the 75 for Dan Holland Racing, catching up. So Dan Holland Racing versus Coles Racing, a fierce battle that we've seen many, many, many times.
Yes, we have indeed. Archie Kitchen won this title in 2019 for Coles Racing. Harry Linden won this title for Dan Holland Racing last year. But they're all being shown a clean pair of heels at the moment by the green and white, the Strawberry Racing team. So, with Reg Hayward has got a 5-second penalty, that would move Leighton Cooper into second place. It would put Mackenzie Douglas onto the podium. Significantly, though, for Reg Hayward, they are 6 seconds in front of 5th place driver Levi Earl for the Vision Motorsport team. So, at the moment, Reg Hayward is looking at, he's second on the road, but he's looking at finishing maybe 4th in the final classifications. unless Levi Earl can really close in.
You can just see there under braking the 75 of Leighton Cooper. It does seem to be only him that when he comes into the braking zone for Hans Hairpin, it just snaps and the kart goes completely sideways. Everyone else is keeping it in the straight and narrow.
Good kart control.
Yeah.
That tells me that he's being more aggressive on the brakes.
Yeah.
He's being far more aggressive on the brakes, and he's confident in his own. Oh dear, there's number 55 off. That's Ollie Wise for Vision Motorsport. He's running down in 19th position.
He's none the wiser about the conditions out there.
Right, now, he goes, what's that, sorry? I missed it.
It was golden.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you say it again?
No, it's too late.
I'm going to have to watch this back on replay now. Oh, so sorry, Anthony.
I'll get a message from you and go, who's this again?
Yeah. So, there is Haywood, Cooper and Douglas fighting for the final podium positions. Ethan Jeff Hall now, as his penultimate lap. The clock has struck 0.
It has indeed. So, last lap board will be out this time for Ethan Jeff Hall. The number 12, Strawberry Racing. He is crossed the line just now, so final board is out. Eyes at the moment on these three. Reg Haywood, Leighton Cooper and Mackenzie Douglas. Second, third and fourth out on track.
Ethan Jeff Hall, then Haywood, Cooper and Douglas. There comes Hall down into Han Hairpin for the final time. There's that snap sideways from Leighton Cooper, who's on course for third on the road, second in the race. Douglas is going to be on the podium at the moment, but as Ethan Jeff Hall already out of our camera shot, he's so far ahead, nearly 3 seconds at the road. Here he comes, the Strawberry Racing driver takes the checkered flag and the provisional win in the opening round of the British Minimax Championship. Reg Haywood second on the road, but it'll be Leighton Cooper who takes second, following Mackenzie Douglas third. Haywood will come home in fourth place. Levi Earl in fifth. Harrison Crowther in sixth. They're side by side across the line further back. Anthony and, again, another contender for drivers, Ethan Jeff Hall. Very, very, very controlled race. And also worth mentioning, Chase Fernandez didn't finish the pre-final, but is now in the top 8 in the final itself, made at 15 positions in absolutely torrid conditions. There on your screens are the results.
Indeed, a great race then from the Minimax to their final. Obviously race 25 of the weekend, only a few more to go. 4 more races then of the Clay weekend and the recovery efforts begin. Obviously the stricken 88 machine of Callum Gosh out there has been stuck out there since the start of the race and was able to come back. So he's unfortunately the poor chap standing at the side of the circuit watching that final he could have been in.
Yep. There come the mechanics out onto the circuit to retrieve some of the karts there, and of course Mackenzie Douglas getting on the podium. I think that's his sister Kaylee on the live chat supporting. She's here in the paddock supporting him as well. So yes. It's good to see the people in the paddock watching and listening as well.
Yes, I suspect they're in the paddock, but in shelter in the paddock.
Yes, smartly, cleverly. Yes,
cleverly.
So that's the second of our our finals over and done with. It's Rotax 177 up next, but I think before then we'll probably try and grab a Auntie Cat. Auntie Cat.
It'll be Uncle Will.
It'll be Uncle Will.
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Will Davis in the paddock trying to do the post-race interviews. There we go. We've got a veritable smorgasbord, ladies and gentlemen, of on-air karting talent. Now, we're going to go down to the winner just about now.
I'm down here with Ethan Jeff Hall, who's just won the Minimax round of the British Karting Championships with Wera Tools. Ethan, how do you feel after winning the round?
I feel amazing. It feels really good.
Really tough conditions out there, with it changing from the pre-final to almost being dry to being very wet out there. How did you cope out there, seeing as you controlled the race pretty much the whole way through?
Yeah, I just stayed calm, didn't make too many mistakes, and just got my head down.
Well, congratulations, a brilliant win, a brilliant start to the championship. Hopefully you can build on it and have a successful championship round. Just a bit more into the race, being very wet out there and controlling the lines, how did you feel going through the corners off the start? Because you weren't starting on pole, you're starting in third. How did you feel?
At the start, I felt a bit like that I might not win because I went over the grass on the first corner, and then I managed to get back up into third, and then I made my way into first and just got my head down. And
Well, brilliant recovery. Well done again. Congratulations, Ethan Jeppel, our Mini-Max winner.